Thank you, Ukraine. Thank you, Ukrainian Association of Medical Tourism, Violeta, Igor, Natalia, and entire team for inviting me to deliver keynote on a very important subject. We do know that currently we are going through certain crises, certain difficulties, but during this crisis, we can come together and find new ways to develop business for coming time. I believe that medical tourism is going to get a new shift, and more importantly, I think wellness is going to play an important role in business. So my today's presentation is going to be focused on how wellness will embrace medical tourism and how wellness resorts, wellness hospitals, how medical center and facilitator can go into wellness business. Let me just first give you a little bit idea about my entire topic. I'm going to talk about what is the future of wellness and why I think that everything will be wellness oriented in future. Then I'm going to talk about integrated wellness, how wellness will be integrated in various industries, different sectors. Then I'm going to talk about how various wellness embracement will happen, how different industry will integrate wellness. And last and most important, I will talk about best practices of wellness. If you are running a facilitation company or a resort or a hotel or even a medical tourism facilitation or support services, I will talk with you about best practices to get the business in current time and upcoming time also. In order for me to explain you everything, first let me explain you why do I think that wellness is a future, and to explain you why wellness is future, I need to show certain important challenges. Do you know almost 1 out of 5 is experiencing some sort of mental condition. 960 million people worldwide have a mental health disorder which is very difficult to overcome. Anxiety is the most common mental illness in the world, affecting 285 million people. And also here is one shocking thought. Do you know the mental conditions affect more women with 11.9% compared to male, which is 9.3%. If you look at all these figures collectively, you look at this particular slide and you see depression hitting 264 million people, anxiety 284, alcohol disorders 107, and drug disorders almost 71 million people. Here is one shocking fact. 69% of deaths are happening because of the condition which could be prevented. These are lifestyle disorders. We all have to die. We all have to die one day, but preventable, non-communicable disorders are not the reason we should die. These are lifestyle disorders and these can be managed. And this is where I think wellness and well-being, health play very important role. Why do I think that wellness is going to play a very important role? Let's understand wellness first. Many people do not really understand wellness and they don't have even different idea and differentiation between health and wellness. Wellness refers to overall process of maintaining a healthy balance of mind, body and spirit. It is just a comprehensive approach to it. You know, World Health Organization has done certain definition about health and they call it health is perfect status of health, mind, body and soul, right? A perfect status. We understand the medical disorders are probably negative status of your perfect status. So if anything goes wrong with your body, you probably have some sort of disease. If nothing is wrong with your body and if you are in a neutral position, this is where the health comes into it. But wellness is a step ahead. It is positive state of your body, enhanced state of your body. If your body has a more immunity, much more positive feeling. So wellness is in general a positive feeling, is about promotive, it is holistic and it is multidimensional. Wellness talk about entire sphere of life and wellness also talk about the entire idea of human beings well-being, right? Most important thing is to understand that wellness is a subject of individual's choice. Wellness is subjective, is promotive. One can take decisions. Obviously, wellness also get affected with external factors which you don't control it, right? But you can react to all those external factors if you have better well-being practices. So no matter what happens outside of the world, they cannot disturb you if you are doing better wellness practices. Wellness in general is a process of discovering ways to promote your well-being, constantly enhancing your process and other things also. Wellness is believed as a conscious, self-directed and evolving process. Wellness has a great importance in health and well-being in general. Why wellness is growing so high at this moment? Why it is becoming $4.3 trillion industry and wellness tourism somewhere around $700 billion industry? Understand this point. We are becoming more affluent. Do you know there are 25 million millionaires in the world? We at this moment are way above poverty line what we were, and our population is becoming aging population with money, and they want to live better. They just don't want to live longer, they want to live well. And that's the reason they are looking for wellness resorts, wellness stays. They are looking for retiring stay program which give them more wellness. So at one hand we are becoming aging, but affluent aging, which is allowing us to live a well life. On other hand, the deteriorating conditions of our health encouraging us to adopt the well-being and preventive lifestyle. Now living long is no more a dream. Now living well with longevity is the dream, because what's the point of living long if you're not able to live a well life? So these are the key reason I believe that wellness is going to grow significantly, and it is going to be in every industry. There are 10 different dimensions of wellness. So if you talk about physical wellness, social wellness, mental wellness, environmental wellness, ethical wellness, cultural wellness, all these 10 dimensions, I mean, each and every institute probably has his own set of dimension, and I believe there are 10 different dimensions, and I have also done some presentation about it. But if you look at environmental, contributing, social wellness, all these are influencing us, and in every industry you see wellness coming in. Industries and corporates adopting occupational wellness. They are giving more and more wellness opportunities. We have more plants in offices. We have more natural light coming in offices. So wellness is becoming a great industry. Now question is that yes, you do agree that wellness has a huge scope, but how to build a business of wellness and how to get into the wellness tourism industry? Okay, so you understood and agree that wellness is going to be everywhere, and you also accepted all my point. But now your question would be, Dr. Prem, understood wellness is a growing concept, but tell me how I'm going to generate revenue through wellness. Isn't this your question? Because you are in a business, and a part of living a wealthy life, well-being life, healthy life, you also want to generate revenues and business. And this presentation is specifically for this purpose. I am going to guide you some of the best practices to generate great revenues from wellness. The first question, how do you generate wellness business? If you have a hotel or a resort, convert that to a wellness hotel and wellness resort. If you have a hospital or clinic or a medical center, convert that wellness element into your hospital, in your clinic and your resort and your medical facility. Adding wellness to your medical facility will help you to generate extra revenue, will help you to heal your patient better, will help you to keep your patient with you. It will help you in your branding as well. If you are medical tourism facilitation agent, if you are travel agent, focus should be shifted only from medical tourism to integrated medical tourism as well as wellness tourism. In a medical tourism, you are already providing treatment to a patient. right? If a patient has come for knee replacement, if a patient has come for transplant, if a patient has come for IVF treatment, you're already providing them those medical treatment. You continue to provide them. I have around 10 presentation on medical tourism videos. You can learn how to develop medical tourism business. But my point over here now is to integrate some wellness practices in your medical tourism facilitation business. Reason why, when a patient comes for 10 days, 15 days in your country, a medical treatment is 1 day job, follow-up is 2 day, 3 day job, but rest 7 to 10 days patient stay in your country. This is the time you can utilize patient's time and provide them wellness packages. Connect with wellness resort, connect with the wellness provider, connect with the wellness service, develop your own program, develop your own packages, and generate extra wellness revenues. Now, I'm going to guide you one by one what are the best practices if you want to go into wellness businesses. First and foremost, whatever services you're providing in wellness industry, set the prices as per the market demand. You have to understand what kind of patients are coming. If you are in Ukraine, the patient might be coming from neighboring European countries, maybe Middle Eastern countries, sometime African countries. So you should have a variable package prices for various target market. If you're practicing in Asia, if your business is in Middle East, you need to look into target market and set variable prices for different target market. And it is not that difficult to set different price target market. Most important point is that whatever price you set, make sure you create outcome based pricing strategy. What is outcome based pricing strategy? You see, whenever a patient asks you about price, do not just answer them a simple price. For example, if someone asks you what is the price of knee replacement, don't respond to them that okay, $20,000. That's the simple way to close your business. You, as a medical tourism facilitator or in medical tourism business, you need to understand that even the patient has asked you a simple question that what is the price of knee replacement, but he might have a more question in his mind which he didn't ask you. Which means, okay, if I come to your country for knee replacement, how much it will cost, what arrangement it will cost, and what other services he can expect from you. So you, instead of telling him 10,000, 20,000, tell them 25,000, tell them 15,000. Add those $5,000 for wellness activity. Tell them that the $15,000 package includes picking you from the airport, putting you in the hospital, getting you treatment, 7 days of wellness resort stay, massage there, follow-up treatment, and visit of the doctor at the resort to check to make sure that you are doing good. Isn't this wonderful? You see, you can be more comprehensive, more sympathetic, more empathetic, more advanced, more step ahead by just implementing simple wellness practices. So next time when someone asks you a simple question in medical tourism, try to communicate with them humanly, try to give them comprehensive services, try to give them add-on value items. Understand, most important point, that pricing also works with the perception. So try to understand what is the perception of the patient about your pricing strategy and work accordingly. If a patient is coming from Africa, he might not need that 5-star wellness. He might just need a nice accommodation. So tying up with a simple hotel, instead of that, tie up with a wellness hotel. So the cost will not be vary. Understand the perception of the patient also when you deal in medical tourism. How do you promote your wellness services? Appeal to your customer. When you are talking with the customer, create a desire, create a need in their mind. We do know that they are coming for medical treatment, right? They do need medical treatment, but you want to provide them support services which create a needs that yes, they need medical services with great support services, which is including some sort of wellness as well. So promote in a manner that you create desire in people's mind. Communicate humanly. Whenever communicate with patient, understand this point. I am getting thousands of patient inquiries. You won't believe, during this period still I'm getting thousands of patient inquiries, because I generate patient lead for many hospital around the world, many facilitator around the world, and I'm still getting lots of inquiries which I'm sharing. And by the way, if you need a lead generation, I can help you also. But understand what kind of inquiry I'm getting. Patient is not asking that, okay, hey, here is heart transplant inquiry, you charge me $100,000 and here is $10,000 profit for you. Inquiry doesn't come like that. No one is going to send me inquiry that, hey, here is my knee replacement inquiry, you charge me $20,000, earn $5,000 profit. You definitely think from profit from your perspective, but what is the patient's inquiry? You would surprise. They start writing that, hey, my father is unable to walk and he has a pain in a knee. My child, which is just 5-year-old, has been detected a hole in the heart and he requires some sort of surgery. Please guide us. Please, we went to your website, we looked at, and we trust in your brand and we are seeking some support, some help. Look at the inquiry. Are they saying you that earn profit from me? In inquiry, no. But they are not asking you not to be profitable in your business, but they are asking you to be sympathetic. They are asking you to be empathetic. They are asking you to be caring. So when the inquiry comes like that, my team, the first answer from my team is always to sympathize. We are sorry to hear about your son. We would definitely try to look into the best medical provider, and we, by the way, have a great matchmaking software with AI tools and other things, and we do wonderful job. So we try to convince patient and convey a message that we have the best of class treatment through our providers, and we will ensure well-being, and we will provide you software and technology, so it is very easy to exchange document. All we do is communicate humanly. And that's probably reason why we are still getting those thousands of inquiry, and why our inquiries actually have a very high conversion rates. Hospitals come to us and tell to us, Dr. Prem, we also get inquiries, but our conversion rate is not there. And I tell them that if you communicate humanly, everyone can do knee replacement. Every good hospital can do knee replacement, but it takes an expert to communicate humanly. And that's a job of your organization. If you want to build reputation, if you really want to create a relationship with the patient, you need to communicate better. Then also, apart of, in case you don't want patient lead from us, you can also do through online reputation. Many of the time you do mistake of putting everything, almost everything on website, and thinking that just putting online presence is enough. It is not. Because you need online reputation. Your touch, look and feel should build that trust, that relationship with the patient. There is a different presentation altogether about how to build online reputation, right? Never neglect the value of your staff. Remember, it is your staff which is going to communicate with the patient. It is your staff which is going to ultimately deliver the result. So you need to train, teach your staff. I do wellness masterclass everywhere. I've done in 65 countries. And I always say first thing, unless your staff is trained to deal with medical tourism patient and able to show that sympathy, show love, support, care, you're not going to build the reputation in business for long term, right? So invest in your staff. Don't only pay them high salary, but give them incentives. Give them comfort, give them training. That's what they need most. Apart of it, whenever a patient comes to you, make sure to collect reviews from patient. Feedback is very important. If it is positive, put it on website, flaunt it, showcase it. If it is a negative, work on it. Make sure that you improve your condition from there. Also, watch out the trends. Wellness trends are evolving very fast. We have an article, 25 latest trends, and my editor is working always every week to update the trends, because wellness trends are changing. Currently, there are trends of staycations, schoolcation, workation, which means people are going to resort and working from there. High profile people don't mind investing $1,000, $2,000 a week or month and go and stay in a remote location and work from there. This is a beautiful trend. During COVID, affluent society is going and staying 30 days in wellness resort because staying in city no more beneficial. If there is a lockdown, what you are going to do? So domestic wellness is growing. Understand the trends, understand what is going to be biohack, what is going. So I have a different presentation for that subject as well. So look at to that also. Be social on social media. Engage. When you are creating content, make sure you're engaging with people, communicating and content driven. Make sure that you're guiding them, educating them, informing them. Make sure content has a value, just not selling, just not telling what to do. In fact, reach their heart. And don't ignore paid advertisement. At this moment, return on the investment on paid advertisement is extremely beautiful. I am doing advertisement and I did not reduce a single penny. In fact, I increased and now I am hitting 5 million page views on my network, and my own website drprem.com is easily hitting 1 million page views every month. 1 million page views? Great, and we are getting hundreds and thousands of inquiries from patient, our publication business and all, and we are utilizing paid advertisement as well. So when it comes to delivering wellness, do also keep in mind that measuring customer service on EXQ language, where if a wellness consumer comes to you, what is his peace of mind, what is moment of truth, what is focus of outcome, what is the product experience. These are very important elements to evaluate quality customer services. As I mentioned, you need to look into from all 10 dimensions of wellness: physical wellness, emotional wellness, social wellness, intellectual wellness, spiritual wellness, occupational wellness, financial wellness, environmental wellness, also cultural wellness and ethical wellness. All these 10 dimensions are going to improve the well-being of individual, but there is a business opportunity in all these 10 dimensions. I'm always here. You can see in the bottom bar. You can reach out to me on Instagram, on Facebook or YouTube. You got an email, you got a website. Feel free to reach out. Most of these presentation and most of these videos are available on my website. Feel free to reach out if you want to integrate wellness into your business. I would be delighted. Thank you once again, Ukrainian Association of Medical Tourism and team at Ukraine, and thank you for joining and listening to this presentation. It's always delighted experience for me to share my knowledge with you. Thank you very much.